Hello everybody, welcome to another video on this channel where yes, today we're going to be discussing a very powerful build in the world of Elden Ring. In fact, it's quite possibly the most powerful build in Elden Ring. But first, it wouldn't be a video by yours truly without a little bit of self-promotion. Now, originally we did have a sub-goal of getting 500, or actually I think it was 1,000, by the end of September. We're currently closing in on 2,000 subscribers, so first of all, thank you very much for that. Can we make it 2,000 by the end of September? Who knows? It's up to you. If you do want to get involved, do jump on that sub train. We've got ourselves a little bit of an upgrade now to help us reach that 2,000 or even 2,500. You know what? Stuff it. 2,500 is the goal. So definitely be one of the first people to make history on this channel. And who knows? We may even be able to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. Just putting that out there for you lot. Anyway, back to the reason why you clicked on this video. What is this build and what is this weapon that's going to be dealing 10,000 plus damage in literal seconds in Elden Ring? Now, for those of you that are well versed in the world of Elden Ring, you're probably already using this weapon and you probably already know what it is, but it is in fact a bleed build using the Scavenger's Curve Sword. More specifically, two of them. Now, my most recent videos have been like discussing the top 5 weapons or my favorite weapons, showing you the best way to defeat the bosses in Elden Ring, and this weapon was always mentioned in the comments. I mean, here are a few popping up on screen now. I've always been intrigued and I've always asked in the comments what you guys use and if you have any ways of making the builds better that are showcased in the videos. And as this weapon kept popping up, I thought I'd do a little bit of research, look a bit more into it and see what you guys are talking about. And oh my days, you weren't lying. And the location for this Scavenger's Curve Sword is actually going to be on this body here. You're not seeing it in the gameplay because I've already picked it up in my particular playthrough that I'm using it on. But this body here, located just below the volcanic manor, as if you were to go up to the Falling Star Beast, this body will have the item resting there. So make sure you pick it up because it is very missable. Like I say, you can only pick it up once per playthrough as well. So with these comments from you guys, that prompted me to do a bit of research and actually look into the Scavenger's Curve Swords because I've never used them before and I was intrigued to see exactly what we can achieve and exactly how much damage we can deal with these bad boys. And let me tell you, it's a freaking lot. Looking online, I actually came across a video by Doms Roundtable, so I do just want to sort of shout out and say that most of the research was purely from that video. So shout out to Doms Roundtable. Look at me, bloody shouting out a channel that's got literally 100 times the amount of subscribers of myself. But as I say, I was looking at Doms Roundtable's video and it goes much more in depth than I ever will do. So if you want to go and look at a more in-depth specific build to absolutely maximize the bleed output and the damage output for these two weapons, do head over there. Link is in the description down below as well. But the gameplay you're seeing on screen from myself is not utilized to these weapons to the best of their ability. Key things to do is obviously to smith the weapons to their highest level and then also infuse it with seppuku, because that Ash of War also adds an additional bleed build onto the weapon, and using the Ash of War in game also increases the amount of bleed damage that you deal. Make sure that you also infuse it into the occult version because that will then heighten the damage based on your arcane stats. So it's a heavily induced arcane build dealing incredible amounts of bleed damage. As you can see, I think on my playthrough, I'm going to correct myself on screen, but I think the bleed build up was actually 86 on the weapons or 87 after infusing seppuku and making it an occult. And with both of them, obviously we're doing 170 plus bleed build up per hit because the secondary L2 or LB attack, so the light attack on your left hand, swings both swords. So with each motion, we are dealing 170 plus bleed build up, which most enemies sort of suffer bleed from anywhere between 100 to 150. So borderline each swing is dealing astronomical amounts of bleed damage to the enemy, killing it in one foul swoop. And just for reference, as the gameplay you're seeing on screen, I am in New Game Plus 4, so the enemies are obviously quite heavily buffed up, but it's still borderline a walk in the park for me to literally walk through these enemies like they're nothing. As much as I like using other weapons, if I want to clear an area and just get to, like, say, the next boss as quickly as possible, you better know that these two are wielded in my hands and I'm just absolutely obliterating anything in my path. Now, as for talismans and also my level at the time, everything's going to be on screen for you now. Like I say, it is a heavily induced arcane build. Of course, if you're only like level 100, 150, by the time you reach your second playthrough, you can trigger the stats. I would say maybe reduce the amount of endurance, mind, maybe a little less vigor because you really don't need to worry about your health other than when you're using seppuku, and just heavily indulge in both dexterity and arcane with maybe a little bit of strength as well to make sure that obviously you can use the weapon and you're pretty much good to go. Like I say, this build is not tailored specifically for this video. I literally picked them up and I was blown away, which is why I was recording what I did, and this build can be made better, especially with the talismans, because I'm using the gold scarab, as you can see, which could be swapped out for something else, and even the armor sets can be improved because things like Vare's helmet can be used instead to boost damage when there's bleed effects around. And I know that there's an armor set out there which also helps with jump attacks, which is also very useful when using these weapons. But again, all of that, like I say, is going to be in Doms Roundtable's video, so do go over there to check that out. But in all honesty, you don't need to go over the top because it's already ridiculously good. I mean, just look at the damage output. All you need to do is put seppuku on it, double hand your left weapon first, so hold your triangle or Y button and then press the left bumper, or L2 to put the left weapon in both hands. Use the Ash of War with L1 or LT, then again hold triangle or Y and press RB or R2 to get both weapons out, and again hit LT or L1 to use the Ash of War, and you'll have seppuku on both weapons, which allows you to do things like this. I know, right? And you can also mix in things like Golden Vow as well, and also using a summon. That's also going to help you, of course. So we can see just how devastating this build can be. And actually, I want you guys in the comments down below to let me know what other methods we can do to improve this build. And are there any other weapons better than the Scavenger's Curve Sword in the game, using a similar method that we're using for this build? You guys have absolutely smashed it with the recommendation of this weapon, so I want to see if any of you know anything just as good, or if not better, tailored around this build, because I want to know what is the best damage output that we can do with bleed damage. But no, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring this weapon to you guys' attention. Like I say, there's a few comments on the channel. For those of you that maybe don't know about this weapon, here you are. It's absolutely amazing, so definitely get your hands on it. I know it's a bit of a killer, needing to be in another playthrough to get both of them to utilize this build to the maximum potential, but even just one is still going to be enough to get you through the majority of the game. Maybe use things like the Rivers of Blood to get you through the first playthrough, but once you pick up that second Scavenger Sword, oh my days, you will never let go of them, I'm telling you now. And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to shout out Doms Roundtable because that's pretty much where I got most of the information from. Of course, I reviewed other videos and looked online for other ways to tailor the build, but that seemed like the best, like easy, straightforward, this is what you need to do to get this weapon to the best of its potential. So definitely go and check it out. I really enjoyed the video. I left a like over there, so make sure you like and subscribe to him as well, because he also makes incredible content. But in terms of this video, that's pretty much everything from me. Like I say, let me know in the comments down below if you have any other weapons that are better than the two curved swords, because that'll be really interesting to know, and I'd love to try them out and see what is better and what other builds are sort of close to what these two weapons can produce. And of course, make sure you hit the like button if you do enjoy this video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Lets me know that you enjoy the content and you want to see more of this in the future. And as I said at the beginning, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 2,000, then 2,500, and maybe even 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so that'll be perfect if we could do that. Like I said, be one of the first to make history on this channel and be one of the first few that have ever subscribed to this channel. And that's pretty much it. So otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your days, and I will catch you in the next video of whatever it is that I make. Bye bye.